apart from waste not supposed to be compressed, because you don't compress hospital waste. Because of what? Because cultural materials, bacteria, and all that, which you easily. And that's why I say this is those from environment who should face these issues and elsewhere, and ensure that these things don't happen any longer. A city as modern as Abuja, Abuja is one of the finest cities in the world, and I say it everywhere I go. It is one of the finest cities, at least Abuja, the main city. But you won't believe it that in a city as beautiful as Abuja, we still do not manage healthcare waste properly. We still commingle healthcare waste with municipal solid waste. And then a city as beautiful as Abuja, where civilized people live, every year we have an outbreak of cholera. There's no single year in the last 10 years that there has not been cholera outbreak in Abuja. And then typhoid. And these things are because we simply go to the hospitals, we carry these things, we go dump them in public dump sites, and then the rains fall and beat them, and the bacterial organisms get into the waterways and gets into our water bodies. And like we said, less than 60% of the population have potable water. These are challenges that we face. But why I bring all these things together is that all these things are intertwined, and you can't remove health, you can't remove industry, you can't remove, it is one whole system. And we must, in our own little multi-sectoral areas, find a way to solve this and then tie it in. And that's why we have what we call a national adaptation plan for climate change. So it's not about environment or works or health, or everybody must do his own little bit and then get it into the national action plan. So the same scenario for resource efficient and cleaner production. We can get it right, and we can right if we want to do it. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mine is not really it's more of a contribution with everything you've said. So I'm with a group here, a professional body, the Nigerian Environmental Society, and with what you've said about people struggling to find either an organization or a group of people that can help with environmental audit or just even getting your environmental activities in order. Our organization or our group actually does that, not as free of charge, but we're a group of professionals and we help guide you. So you can register, you can join us, or you can just have access to some of us. We are in how many states? 5, yeah. So we have chapters all across Abuja, all across Nigeria, sorry. And you can access us even online. So if you are a small manufacturing or a small business and you just want someone to speak to you about what it is, how to get there, just from the start point, like he has said, this is all information and this is great. But there are some people who are really starting even way before this, I would say. They just start a business because you have passion for it and you can do it. So you still need a couple of guidance and you can also reach out to professional bodies like ours. And we even have the Institute of Environmental Practitioners of Nigeria. So we actually, and we're working with Ministry of Environment as well. So actually group of people too. So reach out to other people beyond maybe forums like this and just get professional advice, really. Yeah, Nezra, I'm talking about organizations as professionals, not government agencies now. Yes, not regulatory bodies, because regulatory bodies are good, but they are more to give you certificates, certify you. But if you just want to have a conversation, because sometimes it's as good as a conversation, and I believe conversations go even further to inspire you to do something better. Because like you've seen all of this now, you say reduction of quantities of water that you use, but then if you tell the person that, look, the amount of water you're drawing from the stream nearby, you keep drawing that water, and then tomorrow, one day, you will come. Everywhere around you is hot. You're going to take more energy to cool yourself. And in fact, the entire place, like she said, you're sustaining the environment which you live in. If it deteriorates, then there's nothing for you to manufacture. There is no industry for you because everything is gone, right? So, and like he has said, there is opportunities for even funding, Bank of Industry and whatsoever. So there are even benefits beyond just having yourself certified or being in international market. So sometimes it's a conversation. You can reach out to other people that are just, will I say, individuals like yourself that are not professional. If you cannot really afford and then start a conversation so that from there you can grow to where you need to be. Thank you, sir.
I want to at least let me. I'm a member of NEST, so no, I am. I've been a member for over 10 years. So okay, next slide, please. Eh? Oh, you're changing presentation. Okay, they said I should rest. That at my age I shouldn't be standing for too long.
Thank you, sir. So just before we end, we're just going to talk again on aspect and impact. We talked about that earlier in the presentation, which is the cause and effect situation. We're just going to explore environmental aspects and impacts and understanding how our activities affect the environment. Like here we can see an activity, handling of hazardous materials. The aspect which is called potential for accidental spillage, the impact, contamination oil or water personnel, health, second activity, the aspect, reformulation of the product to reduce its volume, and the impact, conservation of natural resources. So if we can open the next one. Sorry. Next slide. Okay. So what are environmental aspects and impacts? They are closely related. An environmental aspect is any element of an organization's activities, product, or services that interacts with the environment. Pretty much like we said, cause and effect. So that's the cause. Then environmental impact, any change, positive or negative, in the environment resulting from an environmental aspect, the effect. An effective EMS, which we have been talking about for the past hour plus, must identify aspects that can be controlled by the organization, which the organization can influence, and have the potential to cause significant environmental impacts. Identify these impacts and aspects and impacts help our organizations mitigate risk and improve sustainability. So here we have examples. We're looking at some common environmental aspects and their corresponding impacts. You can see here the aspect air emissions, the effects or impacts, air pollution. The same goes for energy use, the impact, fossil fuel depletion, and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. So, to better understand the connection between aspects and impacts, we consider these examples. A factory using large amounts of water, that's the aspect, leads to water resource depletion impact. Using recyclable packaging contributes to increased landfill waste. And a business relying on fossil fuels for energy results in greenhouse emissions. Sorry. So now we're going to move to the practical aspects of today. Um, we, Clara, I think we're just going to maintain the groups we had yesterday, group one and group two. It will be easier. So if we can just split into our groups again, but I will give number again. Okay, let me just finish explaining. Okay, so that means we have to give numbers again. If you are not here yesterday, just pick one of the groups to join. I think that will be easier than. So here we have just another example before we go into the exercise. Aspects, air emissions from factory, impacts, air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Aspect, wastewater discharge, impact, water pollution and ecosystem damage, and so on. Next slide, please. So this is a practical exercise. The scenario here, this is the first exercise. A food processing plant uses water intensive processes, generates organic waste, and relies on diesel generators for power. First of all, I need us to, in our groups, identify at least two environmental aspects identify corresponding environmental impacts. Example, because it is high water use depletes local water resources. Then this is what I expect you to do in your groups. What are other aspects that we can identify? Which of these aspects are most significant, and what mitigation measures could be implemented aspects? Then the second exercise, don't worry, after this we'll leave it on the screen so that we can see the questions. The second one, participants will create an environmental aspect register for manufacturing company, office operation, or power plant. You decide which one you want to do. You will list at least 5 activities in the chosen facility, identify the corresponding environmental aspect, determine the significance of each aspect using criteria like regulatory risk, frequency, and environmental impact, and suggest mitigation measures for each significant aspect. Next is an example of the environmental aspect register. So it's pretty straightforward. Your activity, operating diesel generators, environmental aspect, air emissions, environmental impact, air pollution, rate of greenhouse gas emissions. Significance is very significant. Proposed mitigation measures, shift to renewable energy. So this is just an example of what we expect you to come out with, but you can't use any of the examples we've given. So we need you guys instead of giving 5, let me make it 2 to 3 at least from each group, so that maybe it won't be too long, won't take too long. So if we can split this in our groups from yesterday, group 1 and group 2, then if you weren't here yesterday, just join any of the groups, please.
Can we start timing? It's 15 minutes for this activity. So count down in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I believe we settled in our groups, and so we can start timing our.
And then the impact is emission. If it's spilling from the car, guess what you use it? Okay, packaging, oil packaging. So that will need.
Packaging and then throw them away. So if you have some that have been destroyed because of your music, they can actually be recycled. Then you can also try and gradually shift to more biodegradable materials. So instead of having this plastic that are very difficult to manage in the environment, you have biodegradable. And lastly, you can have like a refill program. So if you have plastic, you come and you buy, 20 tons or 20 kg or 20 liters of groundnut oil, and you're coming back with your own gallon, we can actually give you something. So we can create a scheme where people then are encouraged to not just come and be using fresh plastic, they reuse their own plastic. Yeah. So this is what we have for group 1. Of course, when we discuss and say which of these require urgent attention, everything here can be urgent, but except there is no. But some are urgent and some are easy. So easy ones are quickly, everybody directly here. So it's very easy. And even though it doesn't seem urgent for people, but for the environment, it's quite urgent. So you have that, and then you have the heats. Heat exchangers are good, but it also cost a lot of money. So we can work our way towards that, and then we move on to packaging. So thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. You pretty much answered both questions with one example. But the first one is the full project facility. So the pretty much the kill 2 birds in one place. Group 2, are you ready? Yeah, we're ready.
Thank you very much. I'm representing the good too. And in our own group, we did not consider any industry which would have just feel since it was food and beverage industry. This is what actually happens in the food industry. So the aspect we consider was use of fossil fuel because we asked us not to use the water that was already mentioned before. So the use of fossil fuel now we have the impact, which is the emission of greenhouse gases absorbed due to spillage in the cost of filling the generator. Then another aspect we consider was generation of organic waste in the process of the production of the food. Yes. So the impact was this, the impact I will have with this is usage of organic waste is a positive impact, so we don't consider it as a negative impact. So it's a positive one. So usage of organic waste as manure for farmers. The other aspect we consider was noise pollution in the same industry, which is food and beverage industry. The noise pollution has health implications for both humans and animals. Sometimes we lost hearing and then miscarriage for women that are pregnant as a result of high noise level. So we consider this noise as the one that is very urgent and needs attention. So the mitigation was that we prefer that we should use sound generators and the use of renewable energy in such industry. For the scenario one.
I want to say one thing, because this aspect, generation of organic waste, you said the impact, usage of organic waste as manure.
Yes.
But that's
It's an impact. It's an impact. It's your thing. Don't worry. It's done. So that's what everyone. Yes.
He wants to just really understand.
No, we are writing it. It's in the head, but we're writing it.
So, I just want. Consider using office.
Hold on, here, we're there already.
Giving the definition, but extra time is allowed.
As long as you think it was not done.
It was foreseen 2 months, there were 2, we were considering office. And in this office, the case which was the case study here, the activities that can be found in offices are printing with papers. So printing with papers, what are the aspects? The aspect is water, paper usage, paper wastage. Then impact is deforestation. And then we consider the significance as being high. It's high. And the mitigation measure is recycling or use recycling of the paper after you can use it more than once. Then e-communication to be carried out in such offices so that you don't have to always print. If it's what you can say by mail, you call it by mail. And then we also use maximize the use of the paper, just like as our president was saying yesterday, great funds and back. That is different from recycling. Recycling is when you print and you can now use it for another job, another thing, not for example. Thank you. Then our activity here is cooling using AC. The aspect here is energy consumption. The impact is energy cost and maintenance. Significance is high. Mitigation is greenhouse design or green design is a green kind of green design. We actually also need to have a and proper ventilation instead of always using AC. Then
lighting in the offices. So the aspect here is energy consumption. The impact is energy cost and maintenance too. Significance is medium. Then mitigation is use of sensors lighting, design of the office with proper glass windows for lighting, or make it wide for free entrance of the air. Then another activity here is use of generator. No, let us continue. Let us continue. Number four. Number four. Number four is generator. Generator. The use of generator is one of the activities. Then the aspect is fossil fuel. The use of fossil fuel. And the process of using the fossil fuel, the impact will be air pollution, land pollution, that is soil pollution, and also depletion of natural resources, which is the petroleum resources. Then we also request and also recommended that for the significance is still high, and the mitigation is the use of alternative use of energy, so that we can use solar energy in place of the generator next time, so that we reduce our cost and the maintenance implication. Thank you very much. Any question, please?
Yes. And both teams did well. There's no, like, I haven't even seen. I was going to argue on this one, but Malga said it's okay. So, yeah.
No, the important thing to understand is why you can't argue on it is that we always seem to think that impacts are always it's not that you can have positive impacts. And in environmental management, we always talk about the positive and negative, and you want to enhance the positive impact. It's part of what we do in RECP. You look at what are we doing well, what are the negative impacts that we are seeing, and then the positive ones, we want to, what can we do to make it even better? The negative ones, what can we do to mitigate them? So in that context, once you understand it that way, that impacts can be positive and can be negative, and both we have to manage.
So thank you, both teams. We're just going to conclude. I don't. Can we also? Yes. Can everybody see the screen? Yeah, it's just conclusion. So in conclusion, senior management commitment is required before embarking on ISO 14000 program. Once senior management is committed to implementing an ISO 14001 program, the project planning begins. Remember when we're talking about plan, check, do, and act. So the project planning begins. This planning includes scheduling, budgeting, assigning personnel, responsibilities and resources, and if required, retaining specialized external assistance. Senior management needs to provide a focus for the environmental management system by defining the organization's environmental policy. This policy must include, among other things, a commitment to continuous improvement, prevention of pollution, and compliance with legislation and regulations. Next, an initial review of the organization's existing environmental program is needed. This review includes the consideration of all applicable environmental regulations, existing in-house processes, documentation, work practices, and effects of current operations. Once this initial review is completed, a strategic or implementation plan can be developed. The steps, scope, time frame, costs, and responsibilities for implementation need to be defined in order to develop and implement an environmental management system that meets the organization's targets and objectives and promotes continuous improvement. The strategic plan sets the framework for participation of the responsible and affected parties within the organization. Next slide, please.
Thanks.
We've discussed pretty much explaining everything we've done today. So both in the initial review and on an ongoing basis, the organization's activities products and services require evaluation to determine their interaction with the environment. Environmental issues such as noise, emissions, environmental impacts, waste reduction, and energy use must be identified. Objectives also need to take into account relevant legal and regulatory requirements, financial operational and business requirements, and the views of interested parties. Objectives and targets are set by the organization, not by the ISO 14000. So they're not going to give you the whole, you have to follow this. You set your objectives and targets. And identifying the impacts, judging their significance, and setting reasonable objectives and targets are some of the major environmental challenges that ISO 14000 series aims to remedy. I think next one's the last one. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I think we've got to the end of.
Are we ready now? Okay, before I'll give the vote of thanks, Mrs. Nwamaraihe, do you have any information to share? Okay, just to go downstairs for the group photograph. Thereafter, we'll come back. We'll have lunch. Okay. Any other thing? You can use the mic. Any other information? You are just shaking your head. Any other information? Okay. All right. I would first of all like to thank the Almighty God for giving us the privilege and opportunity to be part of the workshop. Like I always tell people, it's only the living that can gather for anything. And we appreciate the Almighty God also for making it a reality. You know, you can plan something and it won't come to pass. You can even have the mind to be there and something will crop up. So my appreciation, first of all, will go to the Almighty God for making it possible for all of us. I would also like to thank extensively, even though they are not here, two key institutions, the Global Environment Facility and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, for also thinking it wise for us to have capacity building program of this nature in Nigeria. Someone said jokingly while we're seated here, we're saying there's no free, I think it was a doctor that said no free lunch somewhere, whether in Freetown or something. And somebody responded by saying, we're also paying with our time because we can use our time for other things. And I smiled. I say, that is true. But ultimately, if you want to look at it holistically, somebody also has paid. Someone has paid for, it costs something for us to be here. So that institution also deserves our appreciation. So on behalf of everyone here and the PMU, we thank UNIDO because we are on tape. Being an international project, we have to file in reports, send photographs, send other things for making this possible. I would also like to thank our other implementing partners that are here with us. Ministry of Environment, Federal Ministry of Environment. I don't think anyone is here from ECN. Okay. Oh, ECN. Oh, forgive me. From ECN. 3. Powerful. From ECN also. Do we have anyone from MESON here? No. Nesria is under environment. So we want to thank our implementing partners for also supporting us all the way. We've come a long way. It started as far back as 2020. And it's not easy, especially when you are starting something that is seemingly new. My appreciation also goes to our national experts who have spent enormous time to put together what they have shared with us.
Assuming we have time, you could see, attest to the fact that they still have more to offload. In fact, I was the one also propping them and say, oh boy, this thing are basic now. When you get to intermediate level, especially when I saw those numbers on the screen, you know, some of us don't like to see numbers. The moment we see numbers, just change our. So, want to thank you so much, representative of ECOWAT, representative of Hospitalia. We appreciate you. You have added so much to us all together today, and we love the way you made the whole session very interactive. We can assure you, I'm speaking on behalf of also the participant. We are thanking you. I will want to assure you that from the activity, interaction, and the commitment, we want to assure you that what you have done today is not an effort that will go into waste. It's something that they will go back. I had the opportunity of peeping into the notes of some people. They're already taking recommendations and they will take back to their relevant agencies. So for private sector representative here, I mean members of Manufacturer Association of Nigeria Industrialists, I want to enjoy us also to please not just be here. Our employers allowed us to be here at the expense of the productivity that we'll have given. So when we go back, they will also be expecting us to start adding value to the system. We look forward to hearing good news about what you are doing when you get back to your various organizations. I would also like to thank the representative of Cedar Crest. All these paparazzi you are seeing left, right, center, it's from our communication expert. I want to thank you so much for your dedication to duty and for always being there for us, so that whatever we are doing will not amount to what I said earlier, winking in the dark, so that others can also know that we've met. In the course of the workshop, we've learned a whole lot. And all I can say is that by the mercies of God, we look forward to seeing each other very soon, very, very soon. MPC told us in passing that not everybody will migrate to, and I could see the reaction. But we want to assure you, the level of participation here is pretty. We've been organizing series of workshops like this, but the one we observed here, it's very, very encouraging. Very, very. To assure you that as long as we have your details, we'll keep in touch with you. Once we're taking the next phase, we will definitely invite you. I have one or two persons in this hall that have attended the basic before. In fact, one I had to accost the person in the corridor, say, "What are you doing here? I've seen this face before." I want to assure you also that the international consultant, the international experts will be flying in by the special grace of God next month, before next month ending. We will write you officially. That's when we'll take the next phase. For those of us that are here, you'll be wondering, so what will happen to us? It simply means we are going to have a combined, much more larger class, because we have people that have done basic already waiting to also move to the intermediate. I would also like to thank profoundly our experts that we have here, particularly from recognized professional institutions and consultants, other consultants, freelance consultants on their own. We thank you so much. You may not know what you have done. You have done a whole lot for us. You've simplified our work, because in the course of interaction, by the time you cite one example or the other, you are shedding more light, you are laying more credence to the fact that what we are doing is very, very essential. So finally, I want to thank, you want me to, man? I'm representing man. Okay. We thank the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria also for the role that we have played as the project management unit to ensure that we do things differently. And we thank Abuja office, representative of Abuja office that are here. I think Michael is here. I don't know whether Edunjobi is still around. Senator, that's our director, my colleague in charge of government relations. His office is in Abuja here. It's also here. I want to thank you especially. I'll be failing if I don't thank participants. So I want to thank all of you. You've also made our job very, very easy and seamless. I want to thank you for your concentration, your contribution. In fact, I was amazed at the level of energy here when it comes to group work. It's like we have a political party here. Because when the presenter makes one statement, you will see the reaction. All of this actually added color to the whole session. You could see that we were not tired at any point in time. It was just going seamlessly. So I want to thank you profoundly, and I pray that God will take all of us back to our various destinations safely. Overall, all of this is for the good of Nigeria. If we fail, UNIDO has done its bit, GF has done its bit. If we fail to domesticate, it becomes our own lot. I don't want to say it's our problem, but I strongly believe that if the hand decides to play its role very well, the leg decides to effectively function, performing what it's been created for by default, and the eyes is also shining, the regulators, to ensure that what needed to be seen is seen, what needed to be done is done. You agree with me that all of this working in synergy will make the body, entire body, to be able to function to achieve the main reason why it was created. So, thank you so much, and I wish you journey mercies back to your various destinations. You will be hearing from us. For those that you must have dropped your details, another one, the one that will come into your box, your email box, will be hearing from us. God bless you.
Thank you. As for the training materials, please, we will get it across to you. Make sure that your email address is correctly reaching over there. Thank you.
Khadija Oladipo from Federal Ministry of Environment. I work with the RECP Technical Working Group. So we came for Industrial Energy Efficiency and Resource Efficient Cleaner Production training. So before this technical building, capacity building workshop, and we heard about this training, my hopes was that once the training was organized and delivered, be able to have more insight about energy efficiency and RECP. And yesterday and today concluded the training, been able to understand better the international standards of energy efficiency and resource efficient cleaner production in environmental management systems. So the training was really good because it was interactive too. So the knowledge I had was definitely improved, and I still look forward to getting better knowledge about this. Definitely interested since I'm part of the policymakers. So, and we also organize trainings like this to, sensitize other people too. So it's good to add to the knowledge base we already have. So this was a very good one, and we definitely achieved. Thank
Thank you very much. I'm Engineer Precious Onoha. I'm the head of the Training and Certification Department. I'm the head of the Professional Proficiency Development and Certification Unit of COREN. COREN is the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. I'm so happy and excited to be here at this workshop held 2 days by Manufacturers Association of Nigeria in conjunction with UNIDO, GEF, and ECRI. It's been mind-blowing here. It's been eye-opening. I've learned a lot in these 2 days. First of all, under the energy efficiency aspect, where we have to make sure of the energy that we need in our buildings, in our factories, in our industries, and make sure that we're using it efficiently. And then secondly, the aspect of waste, right? We have to make sure that whatever we're doing, because any action you take as an organization has an effect on the environment, has an effect on the social life of other people, on the planet itself, because it's an ecosystem. We're all living together and we're having interactions together. So whatever you're doing, and also there's one very vital lesson I learned, that your waste material is another person's raw material. So we have to come to the point where we will synergize, we'll come together as different industries to say, okay, it's possible that the waste I'm producing from my industry might be your raw material in the other industry. So it's been eye-opening, it's been mind-blowing. I would want to appreciate the organizers of this forum, this training. This is the basics, so we look forward to the intermediary level and the advanced level. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, I'm Engineer Victoria Ethio. I work with the National Environmental Standards and Regulation Enforcement Agency at the Abuja headquarters here. I'm in the Inspection and Enforcement Department, and my sector is the food and beverage sector. Actually, when I got the invitation to come for this training, I anticipated a lot of things because I know this is organized by UNIDO, MAN, and GEF. So it's a standard organization. So I believe that by the time I come here, I will have a lot to learn, which actually I was not disappointed, because today I can say that I now understand the environmental management system, energy management system, energy auditing, energy optimizations. Now, apart from environmental management system, which I'm used to because of my field, when it comes to energy, I was not too aware of what to do there. So by now, after this training now, what I've learned from the energy auditing, energy system optimizations, and energy system management, I'll be able to impute it in my schedules, and doing my compliance monitoring, I will look out for such things in industry to give them proper recommendation in line and in addition to the knowledge I have on RECP, which is resource efficient cleaner production. Now, before that, I will also have to share the knowledge I've learned here with my colleagues, because we go out for inspection so that we can be at the same pace. And in so doing, we can also cover a wider industries and disseminate the same information to them. So I believe that our next inspection outing will be more efficient, because we will now have to look at for energy efficiency, while we also look at for RECP in most of those industries. And besides, Nigeria has regulations, most of our regulations in the brown sectors covers cleaner production. So with this improved, or let me say refresher course now, I'll call this refresher course because that enhanced my understanding, and the IEE understanding I have right now, there will be more efficiency in our discharge of duties now on the agency. Thank you very much.
My name is Engineer Ahmed Eswai Kutuyi, and I'm here on behalf of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. That is my employee. We are coming in for the GEF-UNIDO activity on energy efficiency. It is a nice one because energy efficiency is the only way to go in terms of having energy available for all. But first of all is when we are talking of energy efficiency. Energy itself is almost in all aspect and engineering output. Which the first thing I think we should look at efficient engineering designs in terms of energy efficiency. Yes, I have learned a lot, most especially in the aspect of energy efficiency and also resource efficient cleaner production. That has taught us what we have as energy, what is clean energy, what is efficient energy, and also the wastages involved in management. That also led us to the resource efficient cleaner, which dealt with environment, most especially the common pollutions in our environment, including our offices and home. So we've learned a lot in that aspect. One of the most interesting things is now the issue of being able to go into the management by adherence to the ISO 4000 and also 4001, which is the international and also the world standard, to be able to achieve these two components. We've learned a lot today, and hopefully we're taking it back to the various offices, report it, and also into the field of practice as an engineer. And also we are looking for more of this, and also in partnership with Nigeria Society of Engineers. I am sure Korea is a stakeholder in this, and then it will continue to be at all times. You can count on Korea, and I'm very sure you'll get to where you want to be. That is what I have to say on this program.
My name is Mr. Ogonna Okonkwo, the Managing Director of Global Smart Fit Nigeria Limited. We are footwear manufacturers based here in Abuja. Mental production of different combat suitable for military and paramilitary operations. We also go into school shoes. This event, organized by GEF-UNIDO and MAN, in collaboration with MAN, was quite informative and engaging. Excellent presentation. I really appreciated the examples and visuals. I mean, it's a great presentation. You guys made complex concepts easy to understand, as if we are in the nursery primary school, like ABCD. Thank you very much for sharing your expertise with us. Your presentations, like I said, were very clear, concise, and very helpful. And I can assure you, going forward, that those things we learned here, we'll go back to our pathways and implement them. These are some of the things we do on day-to-day activities. But having come here to learn in this one, the simplified nature of the topics and whatever, it's really worth coming and worth attending. And I remain indebted to the organizers for this privilege. You can't take it for granted. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
My name is Chukwudubem Anyadegu. I'm representing Hospitalia Consulting Limited. We are the national experts on resource efficient and cleaner production. For today, I expected, it was a beginner session, so I was expecting people would not have enough knowledge about any of the subject matter today, but I was greatly impressed. And at the end of the day, we saw the practical session today. It was very interactive, and the whole group was excited to partake, and we came up with beautiful results.